Hi students, welcome to this class, today's class. This is our 22nd class in R&AC. We covered till now unit 1 completely and unit 2 in the first part of the unit 2, that is the working and the different types of cycles on which we solve the different types of problems in part 1. In this class, I'm going to cover the second part of the unit 2 is methods of improving VCR system. We go through the different methods to improve the performance of VCR system. That is the COP, how to improve the COP, percent of performance of the VCR system by using different methods. These are the 4 methods generally we have to improve the performance of simple saturation cycle. The simple saturation cycle may be improved by the following methods. By introducing the flash chamber between the expansion valve and evaporator. And the second one is by introducing an accumulator or precooler. Third one is by subcooling the liquid refrigerant by the vapor refrigerant. This is a liquid vapor heat exchanger will be used in the third type of that third method. And in fourth method, by subcooling the liquid refrigerant, leaving the condenser by liquid refrigerant from the expansion valve. Here we are going to use the liquid heat exchanger. So by introducing the flash chamber, by introducing the accumulator, and by introducing the vapor heat exchanger, by introducing the liquid heat exchanger, we can improve the performance of simple saturation cycle. Let us go one by one. First one is the simple saturation cycle with flash chamber. By introducing the flash chamber in between the expansion valve and evaporator. This is the compressor in which the compression process from 1 to 2, vapor refrigerant will be compressed from 1 to 2. After that, refrigerant will be entered into the condenser where it is condensed into the liquid state. After getting the liquid state, the liquid will be passing to the expansion valve. In this expansion valve, the pressure will be drops. Along with the pressure, some of the liquid particles which is coming from the condenser will be evaporated due to the friction between the expansion valve and refrigerant, as already explained that. After the expansion valve, the fourth state is in wet region because here some of the liquid particles present in the vapors. At this state, wet vapor is contained. In that wet vapor, the evaporator uses only liquid refrigerant. We does not require any vapor passing to the evaporator because vapor does not absorb the heat from the required space in the evaporator. Liquid only absorb the heat, latent heat to increase the refrigeration effect. That's why we are placing the flash chamber here after the expansion valve. This flash chamber is a storage device in which the wet vapor is sent to that flash chamber by the expansion valve. From the expansion valve, the wet vapor will be stored in the flash chamber. Generally, the vapors having the less density when compared to the liquid particles. Therefore, the vapors are occupied in the flash chamber at upper part of the flash chamber, and bottom part of the flash chamber is only liquid. From there, the liquid is entered into the evaporator, and vapor part of the refrigerant will be sent directly to the suction side of the compressor. This is the suction side of the compressor, that is the inlet to the compressor, directly sent to the inlet to the compressor. Okay, that means we are avoiding the vapor refrigerant to enter into the evaporator. We are restricting the vapor to enter into the evaporator, only the liquid refrigerant to allow into the evaporator. Thereby, here, the refrigerant which is bypassed, the vapor refrigerant which is bypassed from the evaporator, thereby the evaporator size can be decreased. Okay, in place of total refrigerant will be entered into the evaporator, we are separating the vapor from the liquid. Only liquid part of the refrigerant will be entered into the evaporator. Thereby, we can reduce the evaporator size. Clear? It is one of the advantage to maintain the flash chamber before the evaporator. Clear? After the evaporator, by absorbing the heat from the required space, the liquid refrigerant will be evaporated. That vapor will be mixed with the flash coming from the flash chamber. The flash means the vaporized refrigerant is called the flash in the expansion wall, because at a sudden expansion, that some of the liquid particles will be evaporated. The evaporated refrigerant is called the flash. Clear? Suddenly, the liquid refrigerant will be changes into the vapors. That vapors suddenly changes vapor is called the flash. The storage device which is separated the flash from the liquid is called the flash chamber. Clear? Flash is nothing but the vapors which are bypassed from the evaporator, and that bypass vapor is again mixed to the vapor coming from the evaporator. That mixture will be sent to the compressor. Clear? So by placing the flash chamber is the advantage is that the evaporator size can be reduced by avoiding the vapor refrigerant to flow across the evaporator. Clear? Vapor refrigerant ni it vellakunda evaporator loki vellakunda avi bypass chestunna. Ikkada form aina vapor refrigerant ni bypass chestunna. Only liquid refrigerant maatrame pass chestunnam kabatti evaporator size nu manam tagginchukovachu. For the given capacity of the system, evaporator size can be reduced. Thereby the initial cost of the system can be reduced. Clear? This is the design factor by placing the flash chamber. The economical point of view, the flash chamber is very useful for the saturation cycle to decrease the initial cost. Clear? The remaining cycle is same as that of the simple saturation cycle except the flash chamber. Let us take the total amount of refrigerant will be compressed in the compressor is M2. That M2 amount of refrigerant will be passing to the condenser and expansion valve. In the flash chamber, some of the liquid refrigerant will be separated. That is represented as M1. M1 is the liquid refrigerant which will be entered into the evaporator. And M2 minus M1 remaining amount of refrigerant, which is M2 minus M1, is in the form of flash, which will be directly sent to the suction line, which is directly sent to the suction line, and also which is mixed with the vapor coming from the evaporator. So M1 amount of liquid will be sent to the evaporator in place of M2. So some amount of refrigerant will be bypassing from the evaporator. Clear? Are you understanding? Let us do the thermodynamic analysis of this cycle. What is the thermodynamic analysis? So what is the refrigeration effect? What is the work supplied to the compressor, and what is the COP? Is there any COP increment is there or not by placing the flash chamber? Otherwise, only the reduction in size of the evaporator only. Let us look one by one. This is the pH diagram, pressure enthalpy diagram for the given cycle by placing the flash chamber. We have already discussed that when the high pressure liquid refrigerant from the condenser passes to the expansion wall, when we passes to the expansion wall, some of it evaporates due to friction. This partial evaporation of the liquid refrigerant is known as the flash. It may be noted that the vapor formed during the expansion is of no use to the evaporator. A flash valla ante flash edaithe form avutundo expansion valla flash anedi evaporator lo manaki ఏ మాత్రం యూజ్ ఉండదు. ఎందుకంటే flash cannot be absorb the heat. It is already in the vapor state. Only the liquid particles will be absorb the heat in the evaporator. So the form during the expansion is no use to the evaporator in the product producing the refrigeration effect as compared to liquid refrigerant, which carries the heat in the form of latent heat. So liquid only absorb the heat, latent heat. The flash does not absorb the heat. This formed vapor is incapable of producing any refrigeration effect. Form in vapor anedi ematram refrigeration effect production ki manaki use avvadu evaporator lo. Can be bypassed. అందువల్ల దాన్ని ఏం చేస్తున్నాం, bypass చేస్తున్నాం. Bypass అంటే evaporator నుండి pass అవ్వకుండా చూస్తున్నాం. Bypassed around the evaporator and supplied directly to the suction of the compressor. This is done by introducing the flash chamber. In మొత్తం కావాలంటే ఒక flash chamber ని యూజ్ చేసుకుంటున్నాం. ఎక్కడది? Between expansion wall and evaporator, as shown in figure earlier figure. This is the figure. The flash chamber is placed between the evaporator and expansion wall. The flash chamber is an insulated container and it is separates the liquid and vapor due to the centrifugal effect. So, thus the mass of refrigerant passing to the evaporator reduces. What is meant by a centrifugal effect? When we expanded the refrigerant in the expansion wall, the pressure is reduced, the velocity will be increases after the flow. That is after the expansion wall. The high velocity refrigerant will be entered into the flash chamber. Due to the high velocity, here swirling motion will be created. Due to the swirling motion, the vapor is occupied at the upper part of the flash chamber and the bottom part of the flash chamber is liquid, remains liquid. So, due to the centrifugal effect, the flash is occupies the upper part and liquid part is liquid particles occupies the bottom part of the flash chamber. Let us consider that a certain amount of refrigerant. Let us go for the thermodynamic analysis of the cycle. Certain amount of refrigerant is circulating to the condenser, which is taken as a M2, I think. M2 is the passing to the condenser. This refrigerant, after passing to the expansion wall, is supplied to the flash chamber, which separates the liquid and vapor refrigerant. The flash chamber is used to separate the liquid and vapor refrigerant. The liquid refrigerant from the flash chamber is supplied to the evaporator, and the vapor refrigerant flows directly from the flash chamber to the suction of the compressor. That is the inlet of the compressor. The pH diagram of the cycle is shown in this figure. Here, what is going on here? 1 to 2 is the compression process. M2 amount of refrigerant will be compressed in the compressor from 1 to 2. From there, the M2 amount of refrigerant, vapor refrigerant, superheated vapor refrigerant will be sent to the condenser. In condenser, that superheated vapor is condenses up to saturation liquid. This saturation liquid is expanded in the expansion wall. Due to this expansion process, during this expansion process, the state of the refrigerant comes into the wet region. Some of the liquid particles at point 3 will be converted to the vapor parts and we will get the state point 4. At this point, we have some particles of liquids and some part of the vapors. So from the at 4 point, we are locating the flash chamber. That is between the expansion wall and evaporator. We are placing the flash chamber here. In the flash chamber, the vapor part will be separated from 4 to 1 and liquid part will be separated from 4 to 4 dash. That means the 4 dash is the purely liquid. At 4 dash, the liquid refrigerant will be sent to the evaporator. Again, this is the line. And vapor part at point 1 is directly sent to the compressor. Clear? So some part of the vapor is directly sent to the compressor. Some part of the liquid will be separated. The liquid will be separated, and state of the refrigerant after separation is 4 dash. From 4 dash itself, the refrigerant will be again entered into the evaporator. Clear? So that means here the refrigeration effect from 1 to 4 dash. 4 dash to 1 is the refrigeration effect. Clear? Let us take the M1 is mass of liquid refrigerant supplied to the evaporator. M2 is the mass of refrigerant, liquid and vapor. That is the mixture circulating through the condenser or leaving the expansion wall. This is the total amount of refrigerant, out of which the M1 is separating, liquid refrigerant is separating, and vapor refrigerant, which will be directly sent to the suction side, is M2 minus M1. Clear? So now consider the thermal equilibrium of the flash chamber. What is going on at the flash chamber? What is the heat entering into the flash chamber and what is the heat leaving the flash chamber? Total energy entering into the flash chamber is equal to total energy leaving from the flash chamber. That is called the thermal equilibrium of the flash chamber. So heat taken by the flash chamber is equal to heat given out by the flash chamber. Heat taken by the flash chamber is at which state? Here, into the flash chamber, amount of mass is M2 and condition of refrigerant is 4. So H4. So M2 into H4 is the total amount of heat sent to the flash chamber. M2 into H4. That is equal to heat given out by the flash chamber. How much heat is taken from the flash chamber? That is 4 dash is the liquid part, which having the mass of liquid is M1. So M1 into H4 dash plus M2 minus M1 into this. This is the condition which is equal to the condition 1. So suction side of the compressor is 1. So M2 minus M1 is at the condition 1. Therefore, M2 minus M1 into H1 is the heat leaving vapor, the heat content in the vapor, and heat content in the liquid is M1 into H4. So M1 into H4 plus M2 minus M1 into H1 is equal to M2 into H4. This is the H4 dash, this is the H4. Clear? So M1 into HF4 dash, that is the amount of mass of liquid refrigerant entering into the evaporator. That is the M1 into H4 dash, that is the heat leaving from the flash chamber at 4 dash, plus M2 minus M1 into H1. H1 is the condition of the refrigerant, 1 is the condition of the refrigerant after the flash chamber, which is directly sent to the compressor. Therefore, from this equation, heat entering into the flash chamber is equal to heat given from the flash chamber. By equating these two, M2 into H1, that is M2 into H1 here, there, minus M2 into H4 is taken on the right hand side. Therefore, M2 is common from these two. M2 into H1 is the positive. H4, if we take this right hand side, it will be negative. So H1 minus H4, that is equal to, M1 into HF4 dash is there. It will be taken in the left hand side. Then it is negative. That is M1 into HF4 dash is negative. And here M1 into H1 is the negative is there. If it takes the left hand side, it will be positive. It becomes positive. So M1 is the common in both sides in these two parameters. So M1 into H1 minus HF4 dash. Therefore, from this M1 is equal to M1. How much amount of liquid will be separating by the flash chamber? M1 equal to total amount of refrigerant into H1 minus H4 by H1 minus HF4 dash. So that is equal to M2 into H1 minus H4. What is the H4 here? H4 is equal to HF3. That is isenthalpic process it is. So we can write it as H4 is equal to HF3 divided by H1 minus HF4 dash. This is a liquid enthalpy at evaporator temperature. So we know that the heat extracted a refrigerating effect. How much heat is extracting from the evaporator, in the evaporator. So weight to weight, the evaporation process from 4 dash to 1, but the mass of refrigerant is M1 itself. Therefore, the refrigeration effect is M1 into H1 minus HF4 dash. 4 dash to 1 is the refrigeration process. That's why I'm taking the change in enthalpy across the evaporator is H1 minus HF4 dash. But mass of refrigerant entering is somewhat less than the mass of refrigerant which is entering into the compressor. So M1 is mass of refrigerant entering into the evaporator. So M1, in place of M1, we can replace this M1 by M2 into H1 minus HF3 by H1 minus HF4 dash. I written in place of M1 this parameter into H1 minus HF4 dash. From this, H1 minus HF4 dash is cancelled, and numerator and denominator is also same parameter. Therefore, M2 into H1 minus HF3 is the refrigeration effect. Clear? This is a refrigeration effect as the top. If we place the flash chamber, the refrigeration effect is M2 into H1 minus HF3. But without flash chamber, if it does not place the flash chamber here, what is the refrigeration effect? From 3 to 4 is the expansion. The total amount of refrigerant will be enter into the evaporator. Still, that is in the simple saturation cycle is also the refrigeration effect is mass of heat, mass of refrigerant entering into the evaporator is M2 itself into change in enthalpy across the evaporator H1 minus H4 or H1 minus HF3. So here the refrigeration effect is not changing by placing the flash chamber, because by placing the flash chamber, the refrigeration effect is equal to the refrigeration effect without flash chamber. So M2 into H1 minus HF3 itself. So we are not changing any refrigeration effect by placing the flash chamber. So let us look the work input. What is going on in the work input? And the work done in compressor is W is equal to M2. So why we are taking M2 through the compressor? The total amount of refrigerant is passing through the M2 itself. So M2 into how much change in enthalpy across the compressor from 1 to 2, that is H2 minus H1. In simple saturation cycle also, the total amount of refrigerant is compressing and into change in enthalpy across the compressor, H2 minus H1. So by placing the flash chamber also, the work done is not changing. It is same as that of the simple saturation cycle without flash chamber. Therefore, the work done is M2 into H1 minus H1 itself. Therefore, COP, the refrigeration effect and work done, work input to the compressor are not changing by placing the flash chamber. Therefore, COP also same as that of the simple saturation cycle. Clear? The COP is not changing by placing the flash chamber. But what is the use of flash chamber? By placing the flash chamber between the expansion valve and evaporator. And power required to drive the compressor is as same that of the simple saturation cycle itself. But from the above, we see that the refrigeration effect, coefficient of performance, and the power required are same as that of the simple saturation cycle when the flash chamber is not used. Adi lekapoyina kuda manaki same refrigeration effect, same work input, same power development మనం చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. Clear? మన same power ఇవ్వాల్సి ఉంటుంది. Flash chamber లేకపోయినా కూడా, flash chamber పెట్టినా కూడా same amount of parameters are occurring. Thus, the use of flash chamber has no effect on the thermodynamic cycle. So, thermodynamic cycle మీద ఏమాత్రం effect లేదు flash chamber పెట్టడం వల్ల. But what is the use? The only effect resulting from the use of flash chamber is the reduction in mass of refrigerant, flowing through the evaporator, and hence the reduction in size of the evaporator. So by placing the evaporator, what is going on there? Yeah, what is going on there by placing the flash chamber? We are separating the flash from the liquid refrigerant. Thereby, the reduction in the evaporator size will be taking place. So size of the evaporator can be reduced. Therefore, the initial cost will be reduced. So we are not changing the COP, but we are reducing the initial cost. Thereby, the performance can be improved. Clear? అర్థమైంది అనుకుంటాను. అది ఫ్లాష్ ఛాంబర్ పెట్టడం వల్ల మనకి యూజ్ ఏంటనేది, ఫ్లాష్ ఛాంబర్ పెట్టడం వల్ల మనకి COP ఏమాత్రం చేంజ్ అవ్వట్లేదు. As we discussed these slides by placing the equations. But the flash chamber పెట్టడం వల్ల మనకి యూజ్ ఏంటంటే, ఎవాపరేటర్ నుండి మనం వేపర్ రిఫ్రిజిరెంట్ ని సెపరేట్ చేస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి కొంత ఎవాపరేటర్ సైజ్ ని తగ్గించుకోవచ్చు. సో ఎవాపరేటర్ సైజ్ ని తగ్గించుకోవచ్చు అంటే మనం యూజ్ చేసే మెటీరియల్ తగ్గిపోతుంది, ఇనిషియల్ కాస్ట్ తగ్గిపోతుంది. క్లియర్? దట్ ఈస్ ద ఓన్లీ ఎఫెక్ట్ బై ప్లేసింగ్ ద ఫ్లాష్ chamber. Clear, students? Let us go for the next method, simple saturation cycle with accumulator or pre-cooler. So what is the difference between the flash chamber and pre-cooler? Let us study this pre-cooler. What is the pre-cooler? It is also a storage device. It is also a storage device which is also used to separate the liquid and vapors. But what is the difference between that method and this method is that the refrigerant which is coming from the evaporator in the previous method directly sent to the suction of the compressor. Clear? Here in this method, the refrigerant which is coming from the evaporator is again sent to the accumulator or pre-cooler. Why it is occurring? What is the use of this? Let us look. Sometimes the liquid refrigerant passing through the evaporator, the liquid refrigerant which is passing through the evaporator, is not completely evaporated. ఇక్కడ నుండి పాస్ అయిన రిఫ్రిజిరెంట్ అనేది కంప్లీట్ గా ఎవాపరేట్ కాకపోతే, అంటే పార్షియల్ గా ఎవాపరేషన్ జరిగితే ఎవాపరేటర్ లో, ఇన్ కేస్ ద ఎవాపరేటర్ తక్కువ హీట్ అబ్జార్బ్ చేసుకొని పార్షియల్ గా ఎవాపరేషన్ జరిగితే, అంటే ద 1' containing the liquid and vapor again, the wet condition is there in the 1' at the 1'. So that vapors are the vapors can be sent to the compressor, but liquid particles which is coming from the evaporator, if we send these liquid particles into the compressor may damage, or compressor requires more amount of work to compress the liquid particles to increase its pressure, liquid pressure. Clear? We know that in the previous subjects we learned that liquid is a incompressible fluid, isn't it? Here the compressor is placed. The compressor is adopted here to compress the only vapors. That is gaseous form lo unna vapors maatrame compress cheyadaniki ikkada manam compressor ni adopt chestuntam. But liquid particles danloki enter avute entante it requires more amount of work to compress that liquid, to increase the pressure of that liquid. So additional amount of work ఇవ్వాల్సి ఉంటుంది. At the same time liquid particles అనేది compressor లోకి మనం సెండ్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు a liquid particles having the nature, corrosive nature, that compressor may damage by the liquid particles. So that can be avoided by placing the accumulator after the evaporator. So evaporator tarvata directly మనం compressor కి సెండ్ చేయకుండా the liquid particles మళ్ళీ separate చేయడం కొరకి ఈ accumulator ని ప్లేస్ చేస్తాం. This is the liquid accumulator యొక్క function. Okay. In case of partial evaporation in the evaporator, the accumulator is very useful to increase the life of the compressor and also to reduce the work given to the compressor by separating the liquid particles from the vapor particles. Clear? So here we are not sending the directly sent to the compressor. That means the flow is not occurring in the evaporator. The flow is not occurring in the evaporator due to it is not directly connect to the compression suction. Whenever we directly connect to the compressor suction line, during the suction process, the low pressure will be created in the cylinder. Due to that low pressure, the flow will be maintained in the evaporator. But here we are not connecting the evaporator outlet to the compressor inlet. Evaporator outlet ni compressor inlet ki మనం కనెక్ట్ చేయట్లేదు. అందువల్ల ఈ ఫ్లో మెయింటైన్ చేయడం కొరకు evaporator లో మెయింటైన్ చేయడం కొరకు ఇక్కడ ఎక్స్ట్రా కాంపోనెంట్ లిక్విడ్ పంప్ ఈజ్ యూజ్ చేసుకుంటాం. ఇక్కడ ఈ అక్యుములేటర్ లో ఫామ్ అయిన బాటమ్ పార్ట్ లో ఫామ్ అయిన లిక్విడ్ ని సపరేట్ చేసిన లిక్విడ్ ని మన ఎవాపరేటర్ ని పాస్ చేయడం కొరకు ఒక లిక్విడ్ పంప్ ని యూజ్ చేసుకుంటాం. ఇన్ ప్రీవియస్ కేసు ఏంటంటే ఎవాపరేటర్ అనేది ఈ కంప్రెసర్ సక్షన్ లైన్ కి కనెక్ట్ అయి ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి whenever the compressor runs during suction stroke, there will be a low pressure will be created in the compressor. That is due to that low pressure in the compressor cylinder, the flow maintained in the evaporator. Clear? అది మనం అక్కడ ప్రీవియస్ కేసులో మనం అందువల్ల పంప్ ని యూజ్ చేయలేకపోయాం. ఇక్కడ పంప్ ఎందుకంటే ఇక్కడ ఫ్లో మెయింటైన్ చేయడం కొరకు ఎవాపరేటర్ లో ఫ్లో మెయింటైన్ చేయడం కొరకు we have to use the liquid pump here extra. Clear? So sometimes the liquid refrigerant passing to the evaporator is not completely evaporated. If the compressor is supplied with the liquid, compressor loki liquid elte along with the vapor refrigerant, then the compressor has to do an additional work of the evaporating and raising the temperature of the liquid refrigerant. Ikkada form aina liquid ni మనం డైరెక్ట్ సెండ్ చేస్తే ఆ లిక్విడ్ రిఫ్రిజిరెంట్ ని వేపరైజ్ చేయడం కొరకు అడిషనల్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ వర్క్ ని మనం ఇవ్వాల్సి ఉంటుంది. దాని టెంపరేచర్ ఇంక్రీజ్ చేసి ఎవాపరేటెడ్ చేయడం కొరకు అడిషనల్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ వర్క్ ని ఇవ్వాల్సి ఉంటుంది. దట్ కెన్ బి అవాయిడెడ్ బై ప్లేసింగ్ ద అక్యుములేటర్. It will also upset the normal working of the compressor. So which is mean for only for the compressing the pure vapor refrigerant. ఇది ఎందుకు మనకి కంప్రెసర్ ఓన్లీ ప్యూర్ రిఫ్రిజిరెంట్ కంప్రెస్ చేయడం కొరకే, ప్యూర్ వేపర్ రిఫ్రిజిరెంట్ కంప్రెస్ చేయడం కొరకే కంప్రెసర్ ఇక్కడ. క్లియర్? So in order to avoid this difficulty మనం అవాయిడ్ చేయడం కొరకి కంప్రెసర్ కి ఎక్స్ట్రా అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ వర్క్ ఇవ్వకుండా an insulated vessel known as an accumulator or pre-cooler, which is also a storage device. It is called the pre-cooler or accumulator, is used in the system as shown in figure. The accumulator receives the discharge, a mixture of liquid and vapor refrigerant from the expansion valve, and supplies the liquid refrigerant only to the evaporator, as in case of flash chamber. ఇది రెండు పనులు చేస్తుంది ఇక్కడ. ఓన్లీ లిక్విడ్ రిఫ్రిజిరెంట్ మాత్రమే ఎవాపరేటర్ నుండి పాస్ చేస్తుంది. In case of any partial evaporation, the liquid refrigerant can be avoid to flow across the compressor. But liquid refrigerant ni compressor ki flow avvakunda avoid cheyadam koraku kuda ee accumulator use chestuntunnam. So both the functions will be done by the accumulator. The discharge from the evaporator is sent again to the accumulator, which helps to keep off the liquid from entering the compressor. Em chestundi liquid కంప్రెసర్ లోకి ఎంటర్ అవ్వకుండా కీప్ ఆఫ్ చేస్తుంది. Thus the accumulator supplies dry and saturated vapor to the compressor. The liquid pump is provided in the system in order to maintain the circulation of the refrigerant in the evaporator. A flow maintain చేయడం వరకు evaporator లో ఒక liquid pump ని యూజ్ చేసుకోవాల్సి ఉంటుంది నెక్స్ట్. So let us go for the thermodynamic analysis of this cycle. Let M1 mass of liquid refrigerant circulating through the evaporator. Amount of refrigerant flowing through the evaporator is taken as M1. This is M1. Total amount is M2. Okay, it is M1 and remaining is total M1. M2 is going to the compressor. Again, this is mixture with the M2 only. This is the M2 which is sent to the accumulator. Partial amount of partial vapor, that is the vapor which taken from the accumulator is sent to the compressor. Liquid part will be sent to the evaporator, that is the M1 part. Again, the M1 part will be sent to the accumulator. Clearly, around mali mix ayi total amount of refrigerant is M2 itself. Clear? So every time the mass of refrigerant which is flowing through the evaporator is M1. Every time in every cycle, the mass of refrigerant flowing through the compressor is M2. So mass of liquid refrigerant circulating through the evaporator is M1. Mass of refrigerant flowing to the condenser is M2. Compressor and condenser is M2. When all the liquid refrigerant does not evaporate in the evaporator, it is represented by the 1 dash. This is the 1 dash after the evaporator. 1 dash. If it is in wet region, during this evaporation, if it is in wet region, this 1 dash having the liquid particles, you have to separate these liquid particles and completely convert it into vapors to 0.1. That is a dry saturated vapor at 0.1. The liquid will be separated from 1 dash to 4 dash. The liquid will be separated. This is a pure liquid. From 4 dash, it again sent to the accumulator, which will be absorb the heat. That is, 1 dash will be sent to the accumulator. 4 dash is an evaporator, which will be absorb the heat from the evaporator at 4 dash. Only liquid refrigerant will be entered into the evaporator. So 4 dash is the pure liquid. After expansion is wet vapor. That wet vapor is separated in the accumulator. Some of the liquid particles will be sent to the evaporator by separating at 4 dash, and liquid particles at 4.1 is directly sent to the compressor. Clear? So 1 dash on the pH diagram. Let the mass of refrigerant that leaves the evaporator at 0.1 dash is same, that is M1. Clear? Let the mass of refrigerant that leaves the evaporator leave chesedi at 1 dash దగ్గర M1 itself. Enter ayedi M1 ne, leave ayedi kuda M1 ne for every cycle. From this, consider the thermal equilibrium again across the accumulator. Since the accumulator is an insulated vessel, therefore there is no heat exchanging between the accumulator and the atmosphere. In other words, heat taken in and given out by the accumulator is equal. The heat locally తీసుకుంటుందో బయటికి ఇవ్వడం కూడా అంతే ఇస్తుంది, because it is an insulated chamber. Mathematically, heat taken in by the accumulator is equal to heat given out by the accumulator. Heat given into the accumulator is a M2 amount of liquid vapor refrigerant sent to the accumulator. This is a mixture, wet vapor. M2 into H4 is the condition, because 4 is the condition. We have to take the enthalpy at 0.4 is H4. So M2 into H4. This is the M2 into H4 plus this is the input, and input to the accumulator is M1 into H1 dash. That is M1 into H1 dash. M1 into H1 dash is these two, summation of these two is called the heat given in by the accumulator. Accumulator లోపలికి ఎంత హీట్ వెళ్తుంది అని. Accumulator నుండి బయటికి వచ్చే హీట్ ఏంటి? So heat given out from the accumulator is, this is the outcome from the accumulator. This is also outcome from the accumulator. Amount of mass out from the accumulator, there's a liquid amount of liquid particles, that is the mass of liquid which will be sent to the accumulator. sent by the accumulator to the evaporator is M1 itself. This is the M1. The liquid in every cycle, the M1 amount of liquid will be taken by the evaporator, and the same amount of liquid vapor refrigerant will be sent to the accumulator. So ఇక్కడ నుండి M1 తీసుకొని అదే M1 ని మళ్ళీ accumulator pass చేస్తుంది. So M1 into at which condition it will be taken from the accumulator? This is a pure liquid. That is the 4-. This is the 4-. Pure liquid it is. Clear? It is 4-. After liquid pump or before liquid pump, it is 4-. So M1 into H4-, that is HF4-, we can write it as F liquid, pure liquid, it is HF4-, plus here what is the enthalpy here? M1 mass of so M2 is the mass of refrigerant which is entering into the compressor M2 into H1. One is the condition. Therefore, M2 into H1 plus M1 into HF4-. This is the heat given out from the accumulator. Clear? By equating these two, M2 into H4, here M1 value is there here, M1 into H1- minus M1 into H4- equal to M2 into H1 minus M2 into H4. M2 into H4. That is M2 is common. Here M1 is common. Therefore, from this equation, M1 equal to M2 into H1 minus H4 by H1- minus H4-. That is equal to M2 into H1 minus H of 3. What is the H4? H4 means this is the enthalpy at this point 4, which is equal to Hf3. That is the liquid enthalpy at point 3. I am replacing the H4 by Hf3. And H1- minus Hf4-. This is the M1 value, amount of refrigerant which is entered into the evaporator or leaving from the evaporator. Let us take the equation 1, that is. We know that the heat extracted or refrigeration effect, how much of heat extracting by the evaporator. Let us look the actual diagram. This is the evaporator. The enthalpy changes from 4- to 1- across the evaporator. Therefore, H1- minus H4- is the amount of heat extracted by the evaporator per kg. The total amount is M1. So M1 into H1- minus H4- is the refrigeration effect. M1 into H1- minus Hf4- is the refrigeration effect. Clear? So we can replace this M1 by this equation from equation 1. M2 into H1 minus Hf3 divided by H1- minus Hf4- into H1- minus Hf4-. Again, these two are cancelled. H1- minus Hf4- is cancelled. Therefore, final equation for the refrigeration effect is M2 into H1 minus Hf3. The M2 into H1 minus Hf3 is the refrigeration effect without pre-cooler. The pre-cooler lekappoyina kuda, what is the refrigeration effect? M1, the total amount of refrigerant which will enter into the evaporator is M1 itself, or M2, total amount of refrigerant is M2. M2 into H1 minus, that is H1- minus Hf4-. M2 into H1 minus Hf4 means Hf3. Here M2 into H1 minus Hf3 is the refrigeration effect without pre-cooler it is. Also with the refrigeration effect with the pre-cooler. So we are not changing, that is that there is no change in the refrigeration effect by placing the pre-cooler. Clear? Same equation will be developed if pre-cooler is placed in the cycle. And what about the work input to the compressor? Work input to the compressor is how much amount of refrigerant entering into the compressor. It is M2 itself. So M2 into H1 minus H2 minus H1 is the same work input given to the system if pre-cooler is placed. Work input kuda మారలేదు. M2 into H2 minus H1 నే pre-cooler place చేసినా కూడా అంటే work మారకుండా refrigeration effect మారకుండా COP మారదు. So COP is same as that of the simple saturation cycle even if we place the pre-cooler in the cycle. So what is the use of pre-cooler here? It done two functions. From the above, we see that when the accumulator is used in the system, the refrigeration effect, coefficient of performance, and power required is same as simple saturation cycle. These are not changing by placing the pre-cooler. The accumulator is used only to protect the liquid refrigerant. ఏం చేస్తుంది ఇది? ఇది ప్లేస్ చేయడం వల్ల ఇక్కడ పార్షియల్ ఎవాపరేషన్ జరిగితే ఈ లిక్విడ్ రిఫ్రిజిరెంట్ ని ఇటు వెళ్లకుండా ఇది ఆపుతుంది. లిక్విడ్ రిఫ్రిజిరెంట్ ఇటు వెళ్తే ఏమవుతుంది, ఇట్ రిక్వైర్స్ మోర్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ వర్క్, at the same time it can be damaged by the liquid refrigerant by corrosion. Clear? So that will be useful by placing the accumulator function. So the accumulator is used only to protect the liquid refrigerant to flow into the compressor, to protect the liquid refrigerant to flow into the compressor. The compressor loki flow refrigerant ni ఆపడానికి ప్రొటెక్ట్ చేయడానికి ఆ ప్రీకూలర్ ని యూజ్ చేస్తాం. అండ్ దస్ డ్రై కంప్రెషన్ ఇస్ ఆల్వేస్ ఎన్ష్యూర్డ్. సో వెట్ కంప్రెషన్ వల్ల కంప్రెసర్ డ్యామేజ్ అయ్యే పాసిబిలిటీ ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి డ్రై కంప్రెషన్ ఇస్ ఆల్వేస్ బెటర్ దాన్ ద వెట్ కంప్రెషన్. కాబట్టి ఆ ప్రీకూలర్ ఏంటంటే కంప్రెసర్ ముందు ప్లేస్ చేస్తాం. క్లియర్? ద ఓన్లీ అడ్వాంటేజ్ ఇస్ టు ఇంక్రీజ్ ద లైఫ్ స్పాన్ ఆఫ్ ద కంప్రెసర్ అండ్ టు డిక్రీజ్ ద వర్క్ ఇన్పుట్ టు ద కంప్రెసర్ by placing the pre-cooler. Clear? That is the second method. Let us discuss the remaining two methods in the next class. I am closing this class. I hope you understand these two methods. What is the use of a flash chamber and accumulator by placing it within the simple saturation cycle. Clear? Bye students, have a nice day.